Hello there. My name's Lorraine with Crafty Therapy by Elle. I'm just pulling up the live, see if I can see it. Today I'm going to be making some wreath bows with some new ribbon that I got. Good. Sounds like we're live. I'm going to be using my Easy Bow Maker, my Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. I have a set of ribbons that I recently purchased from, I think these are all from this year, from Sam's Club. They got their spring ribbon out, so I wanted to play with some of these. And back here I have some Easter colors. Some are from this year and some are from last year. I think these are all, yeah, these are all from Sam's Club over the past year or two. I have a pair of sharp scissors, my wire cutters, some zip ties, and some pipe cleaners that I'll be using. So as you come on, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat. I don't know if it'll let me show it and answer you. If you have any questions, leave them down below and then I will definitely go back and answer them. So hopefully this is a good view. So I have some 2.5 inch ribbon, and this first one, it's going to kind of be like a patriotic summary one, a little bit of nautical. This was new. I had never seen this before. That's kind of fun. So let's get started. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for joining me. It's been quite a while since I've been able to get on. And it's quiet this afternoon before my kids get home from school. I've got their Valentine's Day treats all laid out on the table, so when they come home they have something to open. I have about an hour before they get home. Let me know if you're doing anything fun for Valentine's Day. We never go out to eat or anything like that. It's between the increased prices and they rushing you through your food. I would rather just make something at home, something special, and we celebrate on another day. That's my cup of tea. So what I'm doing is I'm making about 6-inch loops, and you could see as I am turning it, I'm doing a complete turn. This is actually a double-sided pattern, but some of the, like this one, doesn't have a pattern on the back, so that's why you need to do that flip, so the right side is always up. So 6-inch loops, and I'm going to do 3 loops on each side. See, I did that turn. I'm using the ruler that comes on the Easy Bow Maker to measure my 6 inches. I rotate it so that the pattern side is up. Again, 1 twist. Making sure that all of my loops are the same size on each side. Once I have that, I'm going to cut off my ribbons. This is about a 10-inch ribbon tail, so that these are even. This will be a really pretty one for like a nautical wreath or a 4th of July wreath, patriotic wreath, just a summertime one. This was really pretty too, the really deep colors with the stars like an Americana. So I'm going to slide that onto the peg so it holds it for me. Again, I'm going to measure it out about 10 inches. So the Easy Bow Maker only measures 8 inches, so I'm using my self-healing mat for the rest of the measurements. So I'm adding it to, we call these our fingers. Add it in. I'm going to do that twist so that my pattern side is up. And I'm going to come in a little bit shorter, about a 1/2 inch shorter than the first ribbon. So these are about 5.5 inches, sorry. And I'm going to twist. Sam's Ribbon came out with a lot of new patterns this year, which are really pretty. For the most part, I've been very happy with them. There was only 1 or 2 that I left behind in the store where I felt that they were a little flimsy, or the wire in it wasn't a good quality, or the weave was not a tight weave. So I left those in the store. But for the most part, I was very happy with what I found. So again, twisting on each side, and I'm only going to do 2 loops. So I have 3 loops, 2 loops, and you could see, I hope you can see, that it's graduated in about a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to measure it off, and cut off my tail. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know if you use a bow maker, if you're a wreath maker. I have a bunch of the bow makers. I have the Easy Bow Maker, is pretty much the one that I use every day. I just find it's the easiest, it's convenient. I do have the Pro Bow by hand, I believe it's called. It's a very large one. It makes big, beautiful bows. I just find it's a little bit more clunky and complicated to use. I have the Bodabra, but I always come back to this one. Oh, what's that? It's a little... Let me just cut that off. I don't know what that is. A little stain. And we're going to bring in this beautiful canvas dark blue navy, just to kind of break up the patterns. So I'm adding it in. I'm going to do that twist. Another twist, and this I'm only going to use one loop, and again that's about a 1/2 inch shorter than the last set. So I have 3, 2, 1. I like to mix up the patterns and the colors. It really makes it pop. This will be a beautiful bow on just a plain burlap wreath. And then I'm going to come in with this fun lobster wreath. I'm on Long Island, so anything nautical is usually pretty popular. And this I'm going to do 2 loops on each side. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you have anything special going on today for Valentine's Day, if you're cooking, if you're going out to eat, anything celebrating at home. I just set up some Valentine's Day baskets for my 3 boys. I have 3 teen boys and 2 dogs. They have a basket also, and of course my husband. Just a little something. So I did 2 loops here. So 3 loops, 2 loops, 1 loop, and 2 loops. How I like to finish it off. There's no right or wrong way. You can make your bows however you like it. I change it up. I don't always make it this recipe. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the bottom loop, and I'm just going to start spreading them. 1 up, 1 down, and I leave that one in the middle. 1 up, 1 down. That one's going to stay. And as I get to this top one, I'm going to push down on the middle just so that they all of the layers don't come rising out. So I'm just kind of holding it down. I like to fluff out my loops. I'm putting my hand in there. You could see I'm spreading them out. I prefer to do this now, so everybody is pretty much in their place before I secure it. Now I'm going to come to the other side. Excuse my arm, it's in the way. And I did the same thing. today. I packed up my Valentine's Day supply boxes so I could put that back in storage, and now I am gonna focus on spring and Easter and a little bit of summer. Graduation season starting up. I've got a bunch of those orders going out, custom wreaths. So I've been staring at those boxes for a couple of months now, so feels good to put it away and focus on the next season. All right, so now I'm taking my zip tie. This is an 8-inch zip tie, and I'm going to come underneath all the layers, coming all the way under the layers, and I'm going to come up the middle, and I'm going to secure it. You hear that? And I've hopefully heard that. That means it's secure, it's locked. Make sure when you're using zip ties, you have to go in the flat side. If you go in this side, it's not going to, it doesn't work. You have to go in the flat side. Okay, so that is secured. I'm going to gently pull up. And as I'm pulling up towards the top, I'm going to be securing it down. It's fairly tight. I could take it out of the bow maker. And now I'm going to take the zip tie and move it all the way to the back. Okay? Pulling it just a little bit so that I could take my pipe cleaner, which I picked red because it's going to blend nicely. And I'm going to thread it underneath. If I can get it. Come on. Oh my goodness. Okay. I thread it underneath the zip tie, pull it about halfway through, and now I can pull it really tight and secure that. Take my wire cutters and get rid of that. So now I'm going to use these as like a little handle. Flip it over, and I'm going to fluff out the bow. So I'm starting with all the loops, going through each one, making sure everybody's in place. And I'm going to start with the back tail, and I'm pulling it forward. I'm kind of curving it out and giving it a tug, layer by layer. And on the other side. Want to make sure that these are in place. These bows are beautiful. You can add to an existing wreath. You can add it to a garland. You can add them to a mailbox, a swag, gift bows. These are great also if you have a themed bridal shower or a wedding and you're making a big, beautiful basket. You wrap it up and then you put one of these statement bows on it. Really pretty. So there's that one. Nice and full. Oh, actually what I didn't do is I need to trim I like to trim up my ends. I just take the ends and make a little angle. You could dovetail it where you take it and you fold it in half and you cut it, but for the most part I just do a little angle like that just to finish it off. Totally your preference. And you go for the other side. I feel awkward here. Hold on, let me put it my way so I don't cut them wrong. All these bows will be listed in my Etsy shop, Crafty Therapy by L.etsy.com, after I take my pictures and get them posted. I've got lots of other bows already in there. Wreaths, personalized gifts. All right, so that's that one. Oops. Let's do these out of the way. Let's make a spring bow. This will be great for Easter or just spring. These really pretty pastel colors. If you have any comments, leave them down below. I'm not seeing any comments come up, but I do go back and answer any questions. So feel free to leave me a comment, leave me a question. All right, so again, I'm gonna make it about a 10-inch tail. I'm adding it to my fingers. I'm gonna do that twist right in the middle. And I'm gonna make about a 6-inch loop. And I'm gonna do that twist again so that my pattern side is up. Okay, so 6 inches on each side. And I chose these because it wasn't going to be specific to Easter. I do have my Easter supplies out, but I wanted it to be for someone that might want it for Easter, but then they can also use it for all spring long. This would also be really cute for baby showers, these colors. If you have either for twins, girls and boys, or for a baby reveal. Really cute, soft colors. So I'm going to do 3 loops on each side at 6 inches, making sure they're all about the same size. I can see this on a really cute baby, a big basket of like diapers or a beautiful baby blanket, a big basket of clothes. I love giving personalized gifts like that. Things that people are going to actually use. Those are my favorite. Okay, and I think we're going to bring in, what do I want to do? Let's bring this one in. This is picking up the teal, the very light teal in that bottom ribbon. So this was a 2.5-inch ribbon, and now I'm going to mix it up with a 1.5-inch ribbon. Everything is wired. I never use unwired ribbon. It's a lesson that you learn early on as a wreath maker or a bow maker, that it's pretty much useless. It doesn't hold its shape. So now I use it to just put a little simple bow on top of a, a gift basket or something, just to use up the stock that I have, but I definitely do not buy it going forward. So twisting, I'm going to do 2 loops of this one. Came in a little bit shorter. You can see how this is 6 inches. This is about 5.5 inches. Measuring it up. Done with that one. If you go back in my channel, you can find lots of videos on how to make wreaths. I have basic step-by-step from the beginning, how I make my wreath frames, how I cut my ribbon, and how I cut my mesh. So if you're interested in learning wreath making, different techniques, you can go back and check that out. This is a little floppy, this one. So I'm going to do 1 loop of this, going a little bit slower so that I can work with this one's. It's not thin, it's just, I don't know, satin, that it's moving around more than the other. Pretty though. You can see how all of these colors are, even though they're all different patterns, they're all tying in beautifully together. Okay, so we have 3 loops, 2 loops, 1. And let's see, do I want the purple? I think that's going to be too much, too kind of close, the pattern, so I'm going to hold off on that. The pink. I'm feeling the purple. Purple's my favorite color, so I'm going to bring in the purple. So I'm adding it. And this one, I'm going to do 2 loops. Making a little bit shorter. And even though this ribbon is basically the same on both sides, I still keep that same twist. Okay. We had a big snowstorm here in New York yesterday, so the kids have off from school. This is pretty much the first snow we've had on the grounds for about 2 years now. And here I am making Easter designs. And I think I'm going to finish it off with this one. I'll show you how to make 1 loop in the middle. Let's get rid of that extra. So I'm going to add this pretty plaid in. I'm going to do that twist, and I'm going to do 1 loop. And I'm going to bring it down. That's it. I'm just doing that 1 loop on the one side. Measuring these up. And I like to take these straight pins so that the ribbon doesn't, on almost all of them. If it's a satin ribbon, I won't do it because it does leave a hole in it. But this canvas ribbon, it's nice. It holds it nice in place, and then it doesn't get all messy when you go to store it. Okay, so now we're going to do that same. We're going to go from the bottom, 1 up, 1 down. And 1 stays in the middle. 1 up, 1 down. These are so cheery, very pretty soft colors. Like I said, this can be for Easter, this can be for spring, this can be for baby showers. Spreading it on this side also. This morning I shipped out a beautiful floral wreath, floral bow with greens and yellows. That will be perfect for all spring and summer. Okay. So I have the 2 on this side from this front loop. I'm going to take my 8-inch zip tie. I'm going to go underneath all the layers, all the way under and up the middle. I'm going to give it a little push down, and then I'm going to secure it. You're going to listen for it. Okay, so that's secure. It's locked in. I'm going to gently pull up, but I'm not going to pull it all the way so that it's secure because I need to get my pipe cleaner in the back. That way my customer can secure it to wherever it is, a wreath or wherever they're going to be putting it. Okay, so now I'm going to slide it to the back. I secured it a little bit, but just enough that I could slide my pipe cleaner underneath. Oops, I slide underneath there. Now I can pull it real tight. take my handles of the pipe cleaner, and now I'm going to hold it. So now I can go around and give it a little fluff, put all the ribbon loops where I want it. Round it out with your fingers, wired ribbon, so it goes exactly where you want it. Take your tails, give them a little tug and smooth them out. All this is just practice, 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 practice. Making bows is definitely a harder technique to pick up, but with practice and good ribbon, stay away from the, the dollar store ribbon and the not such quality ribbon, and you'll have a better outcome. So isn't that pretty? So pretty for Easter, spring. Add that to, and you see how this is here? So now you just spread that out. I'm going to move this one over a little bit. And then the final thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim my tails. Just cut it at an angle. You can either do a dovetail or you can cut it at an angle. I do both. Lately I've been doing just the angle, keeping it simple, having it a little bit of a staggered length on each one. And then when my customer gets it, she'll just take the pipe cleaner in the back and attach it to wherever she needs. And these will stay, if you store these properly, these will stay from year to year. If they're going to be out in direct sunlight, like anything, it's going to fade. But if it's under a protected porch or, inside hanging from a lantern or a basket handle, they stay beautiful. How I would do it is you just flatten it down. There's two ways you can do it. Just flatten them down and store them right like that in, a basket, in a shoe box. Or what you can do is take some tissue paper. I'm looking for it here. I don't actually have any. You can take some tissue paper, or you can take some paper towels and just shove it in each of the loops so that when you put it away, they're going to be puffed up. So when you take it out next year, it's basically going to come right out and ready to hang. And you can see, even though I just flattened that, sometimes, in shipping, they get a little flat. Just round it out with your fingers. So I hope this helps. We made two beautiful bows. One spring Easter one and one summery patriotic one. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you thought this was helpful, please check out my other videos on wreath making, bow making. I've got a bunch of different videos. You can check out my Etsy shop for any purchases, craftytherapybyl.etsy.com. I do have some bows and wreaths, baskets, personalized gifts, as well as some ribbon bundles. If you're not sure about how to coordinate them, I do have a few of those in there also. And I do plan on adding more. Am I sick? No, but I do sound a little bit froggy in my throat. I just think I need some water. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great Valentine's Day. Take care. Bye-bye.